Thanks for checking out this highlight from Epic Loot Radio. If you want to see the full podcast after the highlight, just check the top link in the description for more. Cheating of players using obvious exports. We're aware a handful of players are using third-party software to alter the game files and save data in their favor. Shocker. While we cannot go into details in order to not give such players insight into their systems, we would like to assure regular players that we are able to identify cheaters with relative ease via our backend system, and that their actions should not affect your regular playing or your co-op experience. I don't know how they would. It's like if in a PvP game, that would be a real scary thing. In a PvE focused game, someone goes off and cheats. Okay, like you're not hurting me. Am I wrong about that? What do y'all think?
I disagree.
Okay, go ahead.
Because let's say you're playing the game normally, you've geared yourself up, you're playing the game as it's naturally intended, and then I come along with my 10 million DPS shotgun and go, "Oh, look at that great boss!" Bang! You didn't see a single mechanic. It's just dead, and I've just got a 1-kill shot on everything. That would ruin your experience.
But what if you earn that experience? Like, what's the difference between you cheating and getting that experience and you earning that experience and coming into the same thing?
You can actually make it more powerful outside of what the game is intended.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Okay, gotcha. I hadn't really looked too much in the cheats. The only one that I tested out was the setting your clock forward to reset the vendor, because it's like, all right.
There are ways where you can actually make yourself a hell of a lot more powerful than the game intends. And, we've seen this in the Division as well, where you were doing 33 million headshots and 50 million headshots when you wasn't intended to do that. So people were just taking out bosses in one hit. And to me,
power dupe.
That was really impacting my experience, because I want to, experience the game the way it's supposed to be experienced. I'm not there for the speed run. I want the full experience. I want to see those mechanics. I want to see those interactions. But if someone comes in and does something like that, that can ruin your experience. And I think there's a fine line between it. If it's just them having better gear and moving on, whatever. But if it gets to the point where they can one-shot things, then that's, not natural to the game. Then that's a problem.
Anybody else?
At least that's my opinion.
Yeah. Anybody got a follow-up?
Yeah. My opinion on it is not that I disagree with you, because I see both
sides. It's okay.
I
can always just remove you from the thing. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I see both sides of it, but me, I tend to be very much on the legal side of things. You're dealing with somebody's intellectual property, and there's a lot of man hours and a lot of jobs that went into manipulating the code and creating the game that we're supposed to be enjoying. So when someone is using a trainer and they're injecting their own code and modifying the game files, you're theoretically, not theoretically, you are breaking the law. You're violating copyright laws galore, and, take the whole aspect of ruining somebody else's gameplay out of it. You're breaking the law, period. So it's wrong. And we're not talking about people that are using macros or anything like that, because macros are non-invasive. We're talking about the invasive the programs, the trainers, which have been used for years. And, there's actually been litigation. If I remember correctly, I think square-enix several years ago brought litigation against several individuals because they were, modifying game files for a game and actually farming the currency for that game and then selling it on the market, and people were buying it. So it's a very heavy legal issue, and I'm completely against using trainers. I think it's ridiculous. And, I think it was on day number 2 or 3 after the launch of Outriders demo, I stumbled across a video where some numbskull got on there and was accusing everybody that got a legendary of using a trainer. And he's like recording it on his phone of him using a trainer. And meanwhile, literally the night before, I got a legendary, my very first legendary, on stream. And it's like, you're really going to accuse the whole community, those of us who are playing legitimately, and you're going to accuse us of using a trainer whenever you yourself are using a trainer? it was a positive. It just blew my mind. I'm like, and that was whenever I actually became aware. I was like, man, like people are still doing this. Like, what the heck? I mean, it to me is just appalling to use a trainer. I think it's just ridiculous. And I hope they severely get punished. But that's just me. I'm kind of vindictive like that.
Johnny's calling for street justice, everyone. Now,
off with the head. No,
I want to jump to Soru, but I want to kind of highlight Aiden's comment here saying, I think hacking is unacceptable at all. In terms of PvE, if they end up adding any kind of in-game leaderboard like speedrun boards, they ruin it. Soru, what do you think?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do agree with that. And I appreciate that Square and Outriders and everything. They have, their legal system. They have some way to catch these people doing this, right? With that in place, I'm going to play the way I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if taking a shot in the dark to not get caught cheating and everything is the way that you want to play, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. I'm going to play the way I want to play. And with games like this, it's going to be playing with people like you, Brian,
Mm-hmm.
and, a couple of my other buddies and stuff like that. And I'm not going to deal with that. I see where everybody's coming from with it. I see, yes, it's bad. I see why people do it. I see why people don't do it. It's just it's not my cup of tea, but if that's what you want to do, then you do you, boo.
So we got Johnny Street Justice Mac, and then we've got Soro Live and Let Live cooldown. So there we go.
I'm Switzerland in this situation, man.
Well, Vulcan, what are your thoughts, man? What you've been up there thinking?
Man, I agree with Chaos and Johnny.
Street justice, let's go.
Street justice, mob justice, 100%. Like, you get partied up with somebody who's just, buff to hell, and they just blow through everything. It's not fun. It ruins everything. I saw a screenshot of a piece of Pyromancer gear, and the armor was like 26 billion or something, and they put every attribute on that piece of gear, and it was ridiculous. So yeah. Street justice, let's go. Take care of them.
Team Street Justice.
Hashtag.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get that trending and literally confuse the internet. Like, what is happening over with the Outriders? We got the hashtag Team Street Justice versus Team Live and Let Live. I don't understand what the internet's doing today. I hope that you really enjoyed that highlight, and I hope that you check out the full podcast. Again, link is in the description. Thanks for being here, and hope you have a fantastic day, you wonderful, beautiful individual.